Smell us now, lady.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. It's 11 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 p.m. for our friends in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, on Thursday, November 20th, 2025. Wish I'd written that out instead of having to go just by the numerical slash thing.
You nailed it.
We're live from MeatEater HQ in Bozeman, Montana. I'm your host, Randall, joined today by my dear friends and colleagues, Mr. Cory Calkins, Mr. Seth Morris.
Howdy, folks.
We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking to Franz Ingelfinger, an elk researcher with Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. We've got an interview with Derek Demun, who shot an exploding deer. More on that in a bit. We've got a hot tip-off, and we're debuting a brand new segment. Very exciting stuff, folks, called MeatTheater. It's an innovative concept that I think will perform poorly. But there's a small fraction of you that will really like it.
We're all really excited about it.
Yeah. First things first, we need to tell you about our big Black Friday sale happening now over at First Light, FHF Gear, Phelps, DSD, and the MeatEater stores. This is the time to get killer deals on gear from our family of brands for you and yours. Today, November 20th through December 1st, check it out. Pretty amazing deals, actually.
Exciting.
Did a little promo video yesterday for the sale, and I think folks are going to be pretty pleased with the offerings.
Ooh.
Good time to knock out some Christmas shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We just bought our first Christmas presents yesterday.
There you go.
Trip to the bookstore.
Oh,
Yeah.
gift of books. It's great.
I believe we have books at the MeatEater.
We do. We have cookbooks. You can also buy a digital copy of any of our MeatEater's American History audiobooks wherever you get your audiobooks, and support the fine publishing team here at MeatEater. They're good folks, and they work hard. One more detail here.
Yeah.
Throughout our 12-day Black Friday sale, we have a fun little photo contest happening again. Submit your favorite hunting or fishing photos over at themeateater.com for a chance to win a $50 or $500. That's not a typo.
That's
$50 or a
Two zeros.
$500 First Light gift card.
Wow.
Yeah, there's $50 daily prizes, and then there's the overall $500 gift card.
Jeez.
Just by submitting a photo, and
Somebody's going to be
we'll pick the winner.
sitting high on the
There's
hog.
some good photos in there already.
I know.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
I scrolled through them this morning.
It's going to be tough to pick a winner, but
Fellas,
somebody's gotta do it.
I'm happy to have you here today on another Thursday.
Happy to be here.
I was just wondering what you've been up to recently. This is the part of the show where we discuss what we've been up to casually.
I
if
kind
it's
of
just
can't.
chat.
I can't really function mentally until I kill a deer, and that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, so this should be a good show.
Yeah.
Corey?
yeah, I killed an elk last week, which I'm pretty tickled about. Freezer's
Yeah.
full, so now it's time for me to go deer hunting.
Yeah. There you go.
That was a weird bull.
Yeah, he's funky. He's got 5 on one side and then just a big black club that hangs down on the other. I think his mother kicked him when he dropped out of her womb.
And he's got like a real tall tine on that side as well,
if
doesn't
you
he?
want to call it, his brow tine sticks up very strangely up, and then the main beam just goes straight down, and it's all black from just the blood, gravity falling out.
Man.
He was cool.
That's cool.
He's a snowflake. Very
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
And he tastes so good. Been eating him up the last couple nights.
Is he tender?
Very. Yeah.
Was he young?
I'd say he was 4.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I never asked him.
My elk is like chewing on a damn boot.
Oh, no. Really?
I don't know why, but my goodness. You got to get out the meat mallet if you want to do any sort of
Yeah.
steak.
I did a little freezer filling of my own last night.
Oh, last night?
Last night?
Yeah.
You didn't tell us about this.
Right before I went to work, our rooster was pecking one of our other chickens to death. So I put her in solitary confinement to let the wound heal up.
I see where this is going.
And went home last night and stuck a little poultry in the freezer.
Yum.
That's great. I love to hear that.
Yeah, and we had a better rooster that I really liked. And then Snort killed that rooster. And then when Snort killed that rooster, this imposter took his throne and learned to crow and do all the rooster things, but I've never really felt any affection towards him.
Well, he didn't earn it.
He didn't. The other one was like this beautiful red rooster, and Snort killed it unceremoniously. But no one's upset about that. But yeah, so that's the excitement over at our house.
Did Cal offer to replace the poultry population after that, or no?
Well, yeah, we got 3 other chickens because his mom was moving.
Yeah.
And so she gave us 3 of her chickens. It just happened the timing coincided with the untimely death of our rooster. And yeah, one of Cal's mom's chickens was the one that the imposter, the heir to the throne, was pecking at. So so now it's almost like another coup because these outside chickens have now dethroned the master rooster.
Wow.
I don't know anything about how any of this works. But
All you know is that rooster had to be in the freezer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 roosters in the freezer. Cal did a fine job with the first one.
Oh, good.
As penance for his dog's sins. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Phil, what's going on with you lately?
Oh, goodness. You really do not want to know, because the most exciting thing that's happened to me in the last few days is that I beat Act 3 of a video game called Hollow Knight Silk Song.
All right.
It's got the secret ending, which is very important to those who know. What's the internet parlance?
Is it Hollow Knight?
YK.
Oh.
Hollow Knight Silks.
Hollow Knight
colon
Silk
Silk
Song.
If you know,
Silk
if you know, you
Song.
know.
It's a
Okay.
sequel to a video game
Just
that
called
came
Hollow
out
Knight.
called Hollow Knight. That's
Yeah.
correct.
I was just trying to think of, is it like an Ocarina of Time type deal?
You do acquire items that allow you to progress to new areas, much like a Zelda game. So you're not on the wrong track. It's called the genre is called a Metroidvania, because it's games like the Metroid series and the Castlevania series. They kind of made a portmanteau of that.
I'm going to dig us out of this hole. Phil.
You play as a character called Hornet, and you're protecting the bug kingdom of Farloom. You want to keep... should I keep going?
No, I was
Okay.
going to say, have we talked yet about, are you eating a deer at your house? Has that come up yet?
It has not. No, my son, my 12-year-old son, shot a deer before I did, and we have a freezer full of mule deer right now.
Speaking
Nice.
That's right.
Speaking
great.
of family coups and imposters to the throne.
It says a lot about me that you asked how I was doing, and instead of saying, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of my son who shot his first mule deer," I said I completed a very difficult video game.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but that's exciting. It's exciting.
It is. It's been a lot of fun because we also signed up for this farm CSA, and from this farm that's less than a mile down the road from our house. So we've been making a lot of meals with
Fresh ingredients.
and harvested deer. It's been great.
How's he?
That's awesome.
He's a couple weeks out now. Is he ready for next fall? Is he?
He seemed kind of just nonplussed about the whole thing. Like, yeah, I did it. What's the big deal? But now
Must be nice.
this was his last year of being able to do it as like an apprentice.
Yeah,
So he's going to have
yeah.
to go through hunter safety next year, and I'll see if he has the motivation for that. But he loves going out on Grandpa's ranch and trekking about and looking for animals. So I think he'll do it. I
Yeah.
think he'll go through the process.
Hopefully, he won't get to the point like Seth is, where his brain won't function until he can kill a big buck. Because it's important to keep some perspective.
It's an illness.
Okay.
It's an illness.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pull him back then.
Yeah. Just have a little
Before it gets
intervention.
too bad.
Well, should we move on to our first guest today?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Today, we are joined by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Kalispell area wildlife biologist Franz Ingelfinger. Franz oversees wildlife monitoring across some of the most remote terrain in the lower 48, including an ongoing elk research project in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Franz, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you for making the time to talk to me and hear about some of the work we're doing up in Northwest Montana.
Yeah, we're excited to hear about it.
Yeah, hey, Franz, Cory here. When you hear about elk in Montana, most conversations focus on areas where herds have an, air quoting, over-objective population. But Region 1 in Northwest Montana, where I was born and bred, is home, which is also home to a sixth of Montana's public land, which should be an eye-opener to a lot of folks. Region 1 faces a very different set of challenges. Franz, can you lay out what makes elk management west of the Continental Divide unique compared to the rest of the state of Montana?
Yeah, sure, Cory. I think first off, one of the unique things is in Region 1, we have an opportunity to grow elk on public land. And I think some of the things that make Region 1 unique is, A, abundant access, like you talked about. We have over 500 million acres of public land, as well as an additional 500,000 acres of private land enrolled in our bark management program. So a lot of opportunity to get out in the woods and have a great hunt. Region 1 is also in northwest Montana forested, which makes hunting complicated. I think a lot of people come up here for the first time and they're like, didn't think we'd have so many trees. And so that changes how you can hunt. It also changes, as biologists, how we can survey our populations and monitor trend. Flying and doing aerial surveys is really only effective where you can see to the through the canopy or where there are no trees. And so we have very few districts where we can actually, do aerial surveys. And then finally, with so much of the landscape forested, our changes in our elk populations are closely tied to changes in our forest cover. And so when you look at, history of forest extraction in Montana, where you had a big boom from about the, 50s through the 90s, and then a real drop off after that, some of those, timber cuts that really provided great habitat for a number of our ungulates have played out at this point. So you can't talk about, changes in ungulate population without talking about forest management, forest fire. And then finally, Region 1, we're also known for, our recovered carnivore populations. We have healthy populations of wolves, bears, lions. And so that's also in the mix. Region 1, great whitetail deer hunting. 20% of the state's harvest comes from northwest Montana. Good black bear hunting as well. Mule deer, we harvest about 3% of the state. And for elk, it's about 5% of the overall state harvest. And in Region 1, we kind of say, we force elk to be moose. We bury their groceries in 4 feet of snow and make them eat shrubs. So, no surprise. But again, some of our hunting districts are under objective. And again, that's where we have this opportunity to grow elk on public land.
Well, speaking of populations, you work primarily in and around the Great Bob Marshall Wilderness Complex, specifically up and around the South Fork of the Flathead Drainage. What have historical elk populations been like in that area, and what are today's most recent population estimates?
Yeah, the South Fork has a long history of elk numbers and elk fluctuations. I think when I think of the Bob Marshall and the South Fork, I think of 3 herds. You've got, which all summer within that South Fork drainage. But 2 of them, those that go over to the Sun River to the east, and those that migrate south to the Blackwater, Clearwater, they're kind of our winter birds. They bug out in the winter to better winter range conditions outside the bog. And so my research right now is focused on those hardy souls that spend the entire winter or their entire life cycle within the South Fork. And there they deal with, deep snow and eke out a living on the valley bottom and then those south and southwest facing slopes. So in terms of the history of that population, that winter in the South Fork, back around the start, 1900s, they first started to document elk overwintering in the South Fork. And there was a series of conditions, fire, isolation, limited hunting, and also limited pressure from predators that allowed that population to balloon, such that by the late 30s, we saw a high of over 3,800 elk in wintering in the South Fork. Granted, they were also becoming alarmed by the impact that these elk were having on range conditions. But again, back then, things blew up, and it made for some of the best hunting in the country. The Bob Marshall Wilderness is isolated, it's rugged, it's beautiful, and elk numbers like that really supported a wonderful hunting opportunity. Things have changed. Several things have conspired that today, over the last 20 years, we've seen numbers decline. Now, when I give you population estimates from the 30s, those are estimates based on winter track counts and walking boots on the ground in the winter. And then when I talk about our estimates today, it's not so much estimates as they are minimum counts. These are the number of animals I see when I fly. And so so it's sort of an oranges and apples comparison. But what I will say is it appears that we are at lows we haven't seen in decades. And although it's orange and apples comparison, there's certainly less fruit on the table.
Well, with that, what steps is FWP taking to understand what's driving this decline and, in turn, support the long-term herd health of these elk?
Sure. I think, this comes down to the question of, what drives population change or elk populations. And, I tend to think of, elk kind of in the middle. They're supported on the bottom by forage production and a little pressure on the top from predation. It's this question of, is it bottom up processes, habitat and forage, or is it predators that are limiting populations? And I kind of like to think of, elk sitting around the table playing a friendly game of poker. And every season is a hand. And I know that, habitat conditions, forage production, that will moderate all things. And so if, you have a wet spring and you got good forage production, that's like getting dealt a sixth or seventh card. But if you got drought, fire that whips through your winter range, maybe you're playing with only 4 or 3 cards. And then if you have a big snowstorm, you just fold. So, every season it changes. But again, habitat is a big player that helps moderate the other factors, namely climate and predation. In terms of what, FWP is doing, we use information research to inform and adapt our management. And so in Northwest Montana, we've got a couple different projects going on. I'll briefly touch on one, and then we'll dive into the work we're doing in the South Fork. So we have the Noxon Elk Study, which is a comprehensive study looking at elk survival, sources of mortality, predation, looking at forest management and how that affects forage quality and production. And there they've got about 150 collars on cow elk. They've got another 150 they put on neonates that, right after birth, and tracking survival, tracking sources of mortality. That will help inform our management statewide and especially here in Northwest Montana. The work I'm doing, and we're going to talk about today a little more in depth, is collaring elk in the South Fork to try and tease out some of the things that are causing that decline and preventing that recovery of elk in the South Fork. Using research to inform management.
So this collaring project must have a lot of specific details that you have to figure out. So how are you capturing these elk? What are these collars trying to measure, and what kind of data are you hoping to collect from this study?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we got 2 approaches to catching elk. We can do aerial captures. That's with a hired team that comes in with a helicopter and darts and immobilizes elk from the air and then goes on and slaps on the collar. That we can do when we're outside the wilderness, but wilderness designation provides with it some additional challenges. Our other option for capturing elk, and we do this both in wilderness and outside, is ground captures, where we use clover traps that are baited with alfalfa hay, and there's a tripwire. They're basically, metal cages with netting, and we bait the elk in there, and they set off the trap. And then once they're in there, we've got trap transmitters that then tell us something's there, and we can go and collar them. What we have is we've got GPS collars. These are collars you can program. They'll give us, 6 to 12 locations a day, and a tremendous amount of information, day, night, bad weather as well. And if our animals stop moving, we get a mortality report. I get a text or an email that says your animal's down and it's here, and I can go in very quickly if I can get there and start to look at some of the factors and causes of that mortality. What we hope to get out of this, we have very limited information about elk movement and vital rates within the South Fork. So simple things like, adult survival, pregnancy rate, some of the things that, people thought might be limiting. That's information we can tease out from this limited study, as well as some of those seasonal movements and habitat selection. And again, all of this is to help us think about ways we can help this population recover.
Mm-hmm. Well, specifically the wilderness portion of this study, being in an extremely remote setting, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're trying to pull this off during the winter months. It sounds like a logistical nightmare. So what are some of the key challenges of this project, and also what keeps your team motivated to keep pushing on?
Sure. I think, to be clear, the men and women I work with at FWP, they all work in remote settings doing, stuff in rugged terrain. So what makes this unique is that wilderness aspect. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of our project supporters. This project is funded, through Pittman Robertson dollars. These are excise taxes on hook and bullets. So that's provided the funding for the collaring and the helicopter captures. But it was a grant from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation that allowed us to actually extend this work into the wilderness. And so what we need is, they help pay for aluminum traps that are portable enough that we could pack them in. And then, of course, partnering with the U.S. Forest Service. They have crews that go there in this area in the winter to do snow surveys. They've got the technical skills as well as, they wrap their head around working remotely very well. So they've been a critical partner as well. But again, in terms of some of the challenges, access for sure. We're talking it's a 2-day to 3-day ski in at a minimum. And it depends on conditions. Last year, when we went in, it took my crew about 8 hours to get up over Gordon Pass. The next crew that was coming in to relieve us, they got hit by snow. It took them over 13 hours, and they were getting to the halfway point at about 9 p.m. at night in the dark. So access is a challenge, and that makes also planning difficult. If I forget something, I'm not running out to the truck. We got to make do. If we have a binding break like we did last year, you got to kind of MacGyver a fix. And so there's that challenge as well. Physical demands, like I said, that traveling in snow, just keeping your body fed. I lost 10 pounds, and I don't have 10 pounds to lose. We were eating candy, we were eating breakfast sandwiches cooked in bacon, soaked in bacon grease, and I just couldn't put on enough calories. And then obviously the environment. We saw temperatures from 50 degrees to negative 30. And wow. I have a frame of reference of what negative 20 is, but you get down to negative 30, and it's just like, that's new.
Mm-hmm. Everything's hard.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah, it was. It was an adventure. It was also hard work, and I think important work. And you ask kind of what keeps me motivated. And I think two things. One is, I feel indebted to the sportsmen and sportswomen here that enjoy the Bob Marshall, care about our ungulate populations, our game populations, wildlife in general. Curious, what's going on. I feel like we owe them, an answer, or at least to try and find an answer. And then I think the other thing that keeps me motivated is, biologists that came before me that did a lot of work to get some of the information we have. We had, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, there were a few collaring studies where, they go out, they slap these collars on, but then they'd have to go to get locations. They'd have to fly and use VHF radios to triangulate. So took on an immense amount of effort as well as risk to get those locations. I can sit now at my desk. I don't, but I can sit, back and every morning sip a cup of coffee and see, what my elk are doing. But I can get a tremendous amount of information from these collars, and I feel sort of, that it's important for me to put the effort into trying to getting them out.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, for people who want to learn and follow along as this study progresses, where can they find updates or learn more about your work?
Yeah, FWP has some, Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has some great resources. The first off is every year we put out an annual elk report that looks at harvest throughout the region. You can just Google, FWP R1 elk report, and you'll see that. That's a great resource. But in terms of the research we do, you can also just Google FWP elk research, and that will bring you to our research page. We also have that for mule deer and other species, but FWP elk research, and you will see, project annual reports and summaries for just about every project we're doing. And when I get to it, you'll have one for this one too. So that's where information will appear.
Great. Well, I could talk about this all day, just as somebody who grew up and used to live and work in the wilderness. But thanks for your time and giving us just a glimpse into your work. Research like this plays a huge role in how Montana manages wildlife, and we appreciate all your hard work, dangerous work that you guys are doing to try and wrap your heads around what's going on up there. So we thank you for that.
No, thank you, Cory, Randall, Seth. I really appreciate you having me on. And it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have one more really important question, maybe the most important. Cats or Grizz this Saturday?
Ooh, well, my son's down in Bozeman, so go Cats.
Ooh, okay. Fighting words for Cory.
All right, well, go Grizz.
Go Grizz. Thanks, Franz.
Thanks, Franz.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Man, that's wild stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Multi-day.
A lot of fun work.
Yeah, like a multi-day ski trip is, I could count on like one hand the number of times I've skied in somewhere and camped, and it's not very. I mean, it's fun, but it's a lot of work.
Just
And
being
stressful.
being in ski boots
Yeah.
for 24. I mean, you sleep a little, but he was saying how hard it is to get in there. A couple days worth of just skiing in. Imagine living in ski boots. For those who have ever slipped their feet into them, they're not comfortable. Those guys are living in them while they're back there. So.
Yeah, mine make me cry.
Yeah,
Most days.
people. Yeah,
Most days.
Yeah, a lot of tears, blood, sweat, and tears.
Speaking of tears, now it's time for a new segment, Meat Theater. Meat Theater is a concept that we came up with yesterday, where we take outstanding hunting literature and feed it into artificial intelligence and ask the AI to generate a short dramatic script to be performed live by untrained actors. And as we were brainstorming for today's show, we wanted to tie in the latest episode of MeatEater Season 13, which, as we all know, captures Steve's first African safari. And what better way to do that, I thought, than perform a hasty stage adaptation of a classic Ernest Hemingway short story, The Short Happy Life of Francis McComber, originally published in the September 1936 issue of Cosmopolitan magazine. You guys ready?
Oh man.
Born ready.
And we did this.
Absolutely.
We just did this once yesterday to make sure that it wouldn't take 10 minutes, and it didn't. So let's give her a rip, boys.
Yeah, not a lot of practice went into this, so.
Action. The Short Happy Life of Francis McComber. Oh, nice lights, Phil. Scene 1. After the lion.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I'm already screwing this up. There we go.
We're live.
It is late afternoon at a hunting camp in Africa. Francis McComber has just run like a coward from a wounded lion. His wife watched it all happen. So did their PH, Robert Wilson. No one has spoken directly of it, but everyone knows.
How is your drink, Mr. Wilson?
Fine. Just fine.
We got that lion eventually, though, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We got him. How interesting.
Margot,
I'm going to clean up before dinner. You were lovely today, darling. Really impressive stuff.
At the moment, Margot turns her back on her husband and walks away.
I just bolted like a scared little boy. I've never done anything like that before.
Happens to everyone at some point.
Does it happen to you?
Oh, hold on.
It's double-sided paper.
Double-sided page.
No.
She saw it all. She'll never let me forget it.
Women are difficult in these situations.
Can we go out tomorrow? Go after something else. I need another chance.
Buffalo. We'll go after buffalo in the morning.
Yes, buffalo. Thank you, Wilson.
Don't thank me yet.
That night, Margot McComber visited Wilson's tent. Francis knew. Wilson knew that he knew. But nothing was said. In the morning, they would hunt buffalo.
Scene 2, the buffalo.
Morning. The hunt begins well. Francis shoots 3 buffalo. For the first time in his life, he is not afraid. He feels it. That thing he had never felt before. Perhaps this is what courage is.
Good shooting, McComber. Damn good.
Did you see? Did you see them drop?
Yes, I saw.
I wasn't afraid. Not at all. I felt... God, Wilson, I felt alive.
You shot magnificently.
Did you see, Margot?
I saw.
Which page?
It's Wilson.
Wilson at the top.
One of them's just.
One of them's just wounded. We'll have to go in after him.
Good, let's go.
The bush. A wounded buff in the bush is one of the most dangerous.
I don't care. I'm not afraid anymore. Can you understand that? I'm no longer afraid.
Is it safe?
Nothing's safe, but we have to finish him.
Then let's finish him. Margot, stay here with the gun bearer. We'll be back.
And there it was. Francis McComber had crossed over. Just 30 minutes ago, he had been a boy. And now, he was a man. His wife knew it. Wilson knew it. And McComber himself knew it most of all. he was happy, perhaps for the first time in his life.
There he is, 12 yards away.
I see him.
Christ!
Oh no!
The cap gun's not going off.
It went off. We got it.
Do that line again, Cory, quickly.
Christ!
Francis, oh God, Francis, is he?
He's dead. The bullet hit him in the back of the head.
I tried to hit the buffalo. I had to shoot. It was an accident.
Of course it was.
I thought I could kill the buffalo. You saw I was charging.
That's right, the buffalo was charging.
Oh God, oh God.
You were afraid, weren't you?
What?
Just now. Just these last 30 minutes. You were afraid of him for the first time.
I don't know what you mean.
No, I don't suppose you do.
Scene 3, epilogue.
They said it was an accident, of course. A tragic accident during a buffalo hunt. These things happen in Africa. Mrs. McComber was distraught, naturally. She had tried to save her husband from the charging animal. No one could blame her for what happened. Robert Wilson knew. He had seen that look in her eyes when Francis McComber stopped being afraid. When he became, for perhaps the first time and last time in his life, a man she could not control. A man she did not recognize. Francis McComber lived 35 years, but he was truly alive for only 30 minutes. In those 30 minutes, he was happy. And perhaps that is longer than most men ever manage. The short, happy life of Francis McComber. Emphasis on short. Emphasis on happy. Make of it what you will.
End of play. Audience goes nuts.
Do we still have viewers, Phil? Are people still
Who
watching?
dropped off the live stream?
I think we're at peak viewership. So
Oh, man.
We locked him in.
Wow. Lights are back on. Thanks for the stage lights, Phil.
yeah,
I
of
think
course.
we
There's
filled-
dried leaves everywhere back here.
That filled 7 minutes.
That was great.
I thought the computer did a really nice job with that script. I added a few touches this morning to make things clearer. I thought it left a little too much up to suggestion and innuendo. But I really liked what the computer did with that.
Yeah, the power that it took for the AI to create that, it only drained Lake Mead like a couple of inches. So
Wow.
Yeah, and
I think it was worth it.
Hopefully Hemingway is not rolling over in his grave in Ketchum, Idaho, directly across from the old First Light HQ.
we have 45 new live chat comments that I'm too scared to look at.
Well, Phil, unfortunately, it's time to take a break for some listener feedback.
Well, I haven't read the new one, so let's just look at the old ones that I've seen.
Oh, good.
Let's see here. This is, it's almost Thanksgiving, and we have more news about next Thursday's show that Randall will talk about at the end of the show. But Kenneth would like to know favorite turkey preps: smoked, fried, or oven baked?
Oh, man, you can't beat a fried turkey.
Fried's pretty good. I'm usually a traditional oven bake guy.
Yeah, just an oven roast. Brian, an oven roast.
Yeah, got it, Brian.
I feel like the taste of a smoked or fried turkey is soured by how often people like to talk about how good they are.
That's true.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with the good old fashioned turkey.
No.
Nothing's wrong with it. Just
Yeah.
the last couple years, I've brined and fried, and it's just hard to beat that crispy skin. It's not easy though.
Yeah,
A lot of accidents can happen.
a lot of house fires.
Dangerous.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
be careful out there, kids.
Be careful. Thanksgiving's coming up. It's never a bad idea to refresh yourself on fire safety. Make sure those extinguishers are where they should be, et cetera, et cetera.
Don't fry it in your garage.
That's for Rick Hutton.
Outside.
He'll tell you all about fires.
I'm going to bring this up live just to hold everyone responsible accountable. Mogor says that he still hasn't received any news about his cookbooks. So me, Jake, Cory,
I'm in on that.
whoever, we need to get this man his cookbooks.
I don't have the backstory on this. Do we owe him? We owe Mogor
Mogor
cookbooks?
won a silly, what was it, like sort of a caption contest thing? I don't remember what. But Brody picked him as one of the winners, And
Oh, this is
he's
embarrassing.
to receive, he's supposed to receive signed cookbooks.
As much as I want Mogor to get his cookbooks, I think we should have swept this under the rug. Because
Nope,
it's a bad look
we've
for
done
our
that.
podcast
We
team.
did that. We did that a couple weeks ago. I refuse. I respect the man too much.
Mogor,
Anyway,
you'll
we'll
get
figure
those
it out,
cookbooks
Mogor.
if I have to fly over to Hungary myself and deliver them.
Morgar, just to put water under the fridge here, I am replying to your email with the tracking number of your cookbooks.
Oh,
That's some CS right there.
Wonderful.
there you go, Mogor. Hopefully that clears everything up.
Apologies, Mogor.
Let's see. Holiday hunting traditions on either Christmas or Thanksgiving. What do you guys do, if anything? That's from Trey.
We don't have traditions. We'll probably go out this Thanksgiving morning to shoot a. Sydney's still looking for a deer, and yeah, shot my first bull the day after Thanksgiving. I actually don't really like how many people are in the woods around Thanksgiving. Not that it's a bad thing, but for my own enjoyment of
Yeah,
the woods.
it's a big tradition.
I feel like around Montana,
Around
it's a big.
Thanksgiving.
People just go out in huge numbers right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I usually, if I'm in Montana for Thanksgiving, I usually do some sort of hunt Thanksgiving Day Thanksgiving Day morning, whether it's like a doe hunt or a upland hunt or something. But this year I'm going to be back in Pennsylvania, and the rifle season opens the Saturday after Thanksgiving there.
Oh, that's
So it's like
perfectly
Thanksgiving,
aligned.
then Friday go to deer camp, and then Saturday wake up and deer hunt.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
All lined up.
Right on. This is sort of a call to action. This is from Ben, and I was unaware of this mostly because I edit Cal's podcast, and I don't think he's talked about it, but he probably will on Monday's podcast. But Ben says, any of my fellow Wisconsinites in the chat, please be sure and email your reps for the Sandhill Crane hunting bill. Apparently there were lots of opponents at the public hearing yesterday, and I looked it up, and apparently in 2010 there was a management plan developed by the Mississippi and Atlantic Flyway Councils that would call for a potential crane hunt once numbers exceeded a range between 30,000 and 60,000 birds, and estimates are now in the 100,000 range. So get out there.
Yeah.
Wisconsinites, let them know that you want a Sandhill crane hunt.
Nobody's going to stand up and advocate for hunting seasons if hunters themselves don't do it. So get out there, gang. Thank you, Ben, for bringing this to our attention.
I haven't looked at all the comments regarding MeatTheater yet, but this is from Afro Man. I don't know about this, boys. What happened to 1 minute fishing?
That's a fair point.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a fair point.
I'll be honest.
I'm sure this is the only negative one, and all the other ones are
I'll be
positive.
honest, Mr. Man. We're well aware that this would be a polarizing segment.
Adam says, is it safe to return yet? Yes, Adam, we're now in the listener feedback section. If you dipped out, please come back. But Derek says it's going to be nominated for an Emmy, so I'm excited to put
All
that
right.
on
Hey,
my
I'll take that.
mantle.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if we don't win an award, I hope it inspires some audience members to go out and read The Short Happy Life of Francis McComber. It's a great story if you like gunshot accidents, or maybe not accidents, cuckolded marriages, and hunting in Africa. So highly recommend. Some of Hemingway's finest work.
Sure. Dan is asking what the weirdest thing you guys have ever found inside a critter is.
Broadheads.
Yeah. I shot a bull one time that had a broadhead that had gone through the spinal, what do you call this? The little bone, the ridge that goes along the back of the spine.
What's that called?
And it had gone through and then lodged in the opposite side backstrap, poking out. So when I was cutting down, my knife hit the like where you thread it onto the shaft, into the shaft.
I shot a turkey this spring that had an air rifle pellet in it.
Oh, really?
We ate rabbit. I can say this because the restaurant's closed. Fabulous restaurant in Missoula. And we got a rabbit that had an air rifle pellet in it at the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, and we called the restaurant, and they were like, "These are raised in the Bitterroot, like in an open. It was not like open range, but they're like some kid might have driven by and plunked one."
Jeez.
So,
wow.
Cory, weird stuff in animals.
Let's see. I had a client catch a cutthroat that had a snake coming out of its anus. I believe it was a garter snake. I couldn't help myself, and I pulled it out,
still alive?
and it just kept coming.
Was
and
it
coming and
digested like it had gone in the front end, or was it still thrashing around like it had gone in the back end?
The snake was dead. Fish was very much alive, but it was the tail of the snake was already coming out of the fish. So I just couldn't help and pull it out. He was still hungry too.
Phil's still playing with the cap gun over there.
Phil
Just burnt my finger.
Oh no!
I think the critics.
Phil just AD'd the cap gun back there.
I think the critics of that performance should know that Phil brought in a cap gun. That would have really added a lot of
I'm still on the fade mode.
Yeah, the gunshots would have been far more realistic had the cap gun functioned. And also, Phil, in practicing for his match strike, when Wilson lights his cigarette, Phil burned one of the microphones in the studio just before we went live.
I also
here.
didn't hold the match close enough to the mic, so it wasn't as impactful. I'll do it again here.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
that
that
sizzle
noise.
that sounds good.
Sounds nice.
Anything else in the chat there, Phil?
Yeah, I think we can move on and tackle things at the end of the show.
All righty. Is it a Christmas ornament?
It is
Or a wiffle ball?
gnome Christmas ornament. If anybody would
Oh, are
like.
we supposed to talk about
Shameless plug.
Oh, we kind of are. It's hanging right here.
Yeah.
that? Oh, great.
At the MeatEater.com. All right.
Our next guest today is Derek Demun, a hunter, photographer, and the host of the T8 Outdoors podcast. You might know him from the viral video where a routine deer hunt turned surreal after his bullet hit a collared deer and made the collar explode on impact.
What?
Yeah. Derek, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
So, for folks who may not know you yet, can you give us a little background on your story?
Yeah, my name's Derek. I'm a T8 paraplegic. I was out in Utah on a CWMU hunt. That's a tag that they give out in Utah for landowners who have more than like 5,000 acres. It gives them like tax revenue and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a couple day hunt, and we're going for known giants in the area, so we're going for a giant. But yeah, I didn't expect the smallest deer I've ever shot to be the most popular deer I've ever shot. So
So tell us about, we're going to pull up the video here in a second, but tell us about how, as you mentioned, you're a paraplegic. How are you hunting? What's sort of the style or sort of adaptive equipment that you use to hunt?
So out here at my local mountains, I like to mountain bike in. We'll strap made a little MacGyver to trailer, and I'll throw gear and stuff on the trailer, and me and a buddy will smash out on the mountain bikes and get as deep as we can. Either that, and I got one of those action track chairs. It's the wheelchair that looks like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
And so those work well, although the battery dies pretty quick, and you don't want to get stuck up on the backcountry with a 500-pound wheelchair. So
Yeah, that's not ideal.
not at all. But on this particular hunt, I was able to. So since I'm a paraplegic and I'm in a wheelchair, I have a license through the state of Utah DNR to hunt from a vehicle, any 4-wheel drive vehicle. So that's what this hunt was able to accomplish.
So you guys are out looking for deer in the morning, and you're hunting from the vehicle. What did this deer? Did you know it had a collar on? I mean, just sort of walk us through like what you were thinking up until the moment of the shot.
Okay, so it was actually the very last afternoon of the hunt. So and there was probably 20 minutes of legal shooting light left. We're driving back down the lodge, and at this point, I just told the landowner, he was driving. I was like, hey, anything with antlers, I would like to at least put some meat in the freezer, because I like taking my old man on hunts with me. So just anything we could munch on. But we're coming around the corner, and it's absolutely pouring rain. You can't hear it in the video that I posted. Just microphone wise wasn't working out well, but we come around the corner, and this little Forky just pops up out of his bed and is staring at us, because like I said, it was pouring rain and we weren't expecting to see anything. So this guy popped up and was just staring at us, probably about 10 yards off the road. And landowner's like, here's your chance. I was like, all right, cool. Got my rifle set up, and he had glass on it. He had his binos on it, and I got it in the optic. I was like, it's got a collar. He's like, it's all good. You can take it at will. And so he wanted me to shoot it where the neck meets the body, since it was raining so hard. If you would have hit it somewhere else, the blood trail would have probably been washed away pretty fast. So it was raining really hard that day. So I aimed right where the neck meets the chest, right there in the brisket area. Saw the collar, tried to aim underneath of it, and I hit the lithium battery on the collar, and yeah,
let's
it was
let
big,
the
big
video.
Explosion. I thought the deer went sky high, and there's gonna be limbs everywhere.
Phil, can you pull up that video?
Yes.
And I told Derek before we got started, like someone sent this to us and said, "Have you seen this video of a deer exploding when the collar gets hit?" And I thought, oh, we're gonna get like a little sizzle, or like a couple sparks. But the video is something. You can see here the getting
Should
set
be
up
audio,
for the
but it's not
shot.
coming through. So apologies.
Takes aim. Kaboom.
And it's like I mean,
Looks
for,
like
for those
tannerite.
for folks that aren't or are watching, excuse me, for the folks who are listening and not watching, it looks like a tannerite went off. So Derek, what's the first thing in your mind that, I mean, it's crazy.
So insane.
So you pull the trigger and there's one big boom and then another big boom. What's the first thing goes through your mind?
Well, it was funny because there was a good 15 seconds of silence in the truck. Like, we all just sat there and just stared at a 15-foot tall pile of smoke, and we all just literally just sat there, and I was like, kind of deer you guys got out here, and the landowner's like, I've been hunting my land for 50 years, and I have never ever seen that. And it was just mind blowing, and wasn't expecting it. And honestly, going up to the deer, I thought there was going to be a lot of damage, but there was absolutely no damage to the deer. It was
Wow.
literally just the battery exploded, and you could see where my bullet went through the neck, dropped it right in its track. So it was a good.
I would imagine. So.
Yeah, you'd hope so with that impact.
Yeah, right.
Didn't go.
It was shooting a 243, and it hit that battery, and it's crazy. You could slow it down, and there's a giant flash of light, sparks flying 10, 15 feet in the air, and then that smoke got a good 15, 20 feet in the forest there. So,
Derek, we got a question from Seth who asked, how far did it run after that?
about 2 inches. It dropped. Luckily, it was a clean, ethical shot, so he dropped right in his tracks.
Yeah, no blood trailing needed. Did wildlife? I mean, you posted this on your Instagram channel or on your Instagram feed, and then it went viral. Can you tell us, like, did wildlife officials reach out to you at all, or what was sort of the reaction that you got after you posted this?
So we were driving down to the lodge when this happened. Before we got to the lodge, after we threw the deer in the truck, we were already on the phone with Utah DNR, and they congratulated me. They said, great shot, congratulations, and they asked what condition the collar was in, and we explained it, and they're like, oh, you go ahead, keep the collar. It's no use to us, and they even emailed me the migration charts on that specific.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
So I got to see
That's
where
super
the
cool.
summer range, its winter range, and its year-round range. And that deer specifically migrates 21 miles round trip from its summer ground to the winter grounds. So
That's amazing.
That was pretty cool. That deer put on some miles.
Yeah, whenever I shoot a deer, I always wonder what its individual story is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're never going to get the chance to know that unless it's
This has an exploding collar.
unless it's an exploding collar. Yeah. So is that going to go on the you're going to do a Euro mount and hang the collar on it, or what's the plan there?
I have a Euro mount and I have the collar hanging from it. Yeah, I do. So it was cool. I got, and you asked about like what people said about it afterwards, but I got a lot of people, people who don't read the captions, because I listed what happened in the entire hunt, why I was shooting from a vehicle, why it exploded, XYZ, because they got a lot of hate from shooting from a vehicle, but people didn't, special situation.
Yeah, Derek, I know you use your platform to advocate for hunters with disabilities, and it's an important message. And I think what you just brought up there, like there's a lot of, ignorance out there, not only in the hunting community, but outside of the hunting community about folks getting outdoors in different ways. Can you share some of your like advocacy message with our audience, and kind of what would you want other hunters to understand about what it takes to get, for example, a paraplegic like yourself outside?
Yeah, it's every state out there offers a shoot from a vehicle. It doesn't have to be a car. It could be any wheeled vehicle from the road. You can go out. You can get those. It's it's tough. Like I wasn't born paraplegic. I got into a bad accident, and just trying to fill the freezer like anybody else. And there's a lot less of us in this position than people. I still like to hop in the blind. Choke points, food plots, water sources, all that. That's a lot funner. But sometimes when you're hunting big, steep, rugged mountain terrain, you're obviously not going to be rolling your wheelchair through that. So, hopping in a side by or a car really.
Yeah.
Really
so maybe
helps, just trying to fill the freezer.
If folks see someone shooting from a vehicle, don't rush to judgment about who's doing that and why, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Some disabilities are super visible, and some aren't. Like if you see me rolling down the street, you're like, this guy's in a wheelchair, but there's a lot of disabilities out there that you can apply for a shoot from a vehicle car that you couldn't tell just by looking at somebody. You'd have to dive deep into their story, hear what they're all about. And so, yeah, just don't rush to judgment. We're all out here just trying to feed our families.
Well, Derek, if folks want to hear more about your story and learn more about your work, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I do a lot of video logging about my hunts and stuff on Instagram. The T8_outdoorsman, and it's the same for my YouTube channel, T8_outdoorsman. And if anyone has a chance to hop on or would like to listen to the T8 Outdoors podcast, it's a podcast I started for people with disabilities who go out there and hunt, and just their extraordinary stories and how differently logistics apply to their certain hunts. I got buddies and shooting big old elk, dragging them out with chairs. And so just, if you could hop on and give it a check out and see what we have to do logistically, it'd be cool just to bring awareness. Yeah.
Well, Derek, thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for chatting with us, and appreciate the work you're doing. And hopefully the next deer you pull the trigger on will be a little less eventful, surprising, combustible.
Yeah. It was the most popular Forky there on the internet for probably about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, Derek, hope you're having a good fall, and maybe we'll chat with you again here soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Man, every time I watch that video, it doesn't get old. It still shocks me.
It's so crazy.
Me. I encourage everybody, if you're just listening, go either check this out on YouTube or check out Derek's Instagram page, because it's a wild visual.
Wild video.
Which brings us to our next segment, and that's a hot tip-off.
H-O-T-T-I-P-off. Let's all do a hot tip-off. H-O-T-T-I-P-off. Let's all do a hot tip-off.
Love it.
Hot Tip-Off is where two listeners go head-to-head with competing pieces of advice, and after we hear each tip, we'll declare which one is better, and that will be, by we'll, I mean the audience.
Hey,
will choose
that's
which one's better.
I will throw up a poll in the live chat after we watch the hot tips.
Yes,
Please
if you
vote.
don't mind, Phil, please do that. And if you have a hot tip, take a 1-minute video on your phone and email it to radio@themeateater.com with the subject line Hop Tip Off. This segment is brought to you by our good friends at Case Knives, handcrafting high-quality knives since 1889. And the winner of this showdown will receive a MeatEater branded Case Trapper knife. And Uncle Brent will be very pleased with that.
Uncle Brent will like it.
All right, Phil, let's hear this week's hot tips.
Ethan Hull.
Hey, this is Ethan from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and my hot tip is, as we all know, we need a lot of room to do our cutting. A lot of times big cutting boards aren't cheap. So what we like to do is we go down to the local home improvement store, and for $30, you can get a whole 4-foot piece of scrap cut off clearance laminate countertop. It works great as a cutting board. And we have 3 of them, so we get 12 feet of counter space for cutting and butchering. So for $120, we have 12 whole feet of basically cutting board. Thanks, bye.
Nice.
Billy Shaw.
Hey everybody, Billy here in Minnesota with a hot tip for you. In response to Spencer's question about the best type of gas tank to use, I've got a better solution. Buy a siphon hose anywhere on the internet or maybe at a hardware store. It's got a check valve on this side. You put your fuel tank anywhere above the fuel fill on your vehicle. Put it in the vehicle and then you take this end and you just jam it down like this. And that gets the fuel flowing from the tank into your vehicle. This way, if you don't have a fuel gauge, you can look inside and see how full it is, so you're not going to spill everywhere if you're using a regular tank. There's no leaking from the tank. And then when you're done, you just pull it up from the fuel tank, and the rest of it siphons down into your vehicle. Much better solution for filling things like snowmobiles, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides.
Amen.
Very familiar with that device.
Keep that clean. Yeah, good thing to have in your truck.
Yeah, get one at Harbor Freight.
I wonder if
Get a cheap
Poll
one.
is live.
Poll is live,
Get those
gang.
votes
Get
in.
in there.
I wonder if Chester knows Ethan from Fond du Lac.
Fond du Lac?
Because that's where Chester's from.
Get out.
Fond du Lac.
Man. A lot of great hot tips
I
coming
mean, how
from the
many
upper
people
Midwest.
could possibly live in Fond du Lac?
I don't know. I don't know what the population is.
Tough.
Do you like the countertop trick?
I do. Yeah.
When we redid our counters, I saved 2 big sections just for that very thing. So I do that.
You know, it's
Mine
funny
were
when we redid our
couple
counters.
$1,000.
When we redid our counters, I saved all of the butcher block, and I just cut it into weird shapes.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of butcher block with a barrel vise on it, so I can pull barrels and stuff on my truck bed, and I can also put a reloading. I can put a press on there and reload cases at the range if I'm doing some experimenting with seating depth, things like that. But I have all this countertop just leaning up against the walls in my barn.
Yeah.
But I just like that. I mean, you could go to, you don't even have to go to Home Depot. You just go to like the home salvage store.
Yeah, I did
Where,
the same
where
thing.
I like to find all my weird stuff.
We did butcher block as well, and yeah, my leftover chunk is a cutting board now.
Yeah. I love any hot tip that involves recycling stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's good.
Yeah.
But I also feel like anything we can do to get at big gas can, to fight the man, fight the man and his fume mitigating gas cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's kind of tight, so I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to get these last votes in. Maybe you can sway the tide here.
How many votes total do we have, Phil?
Right now we have 88 votes.
Oh, but there's
And
308
there's
people
over
watching.
300 people watching.
308.
So
Come on.
Democracy
People?
is a right.
Yeah. Even if you're driving, get on it.
Poor turnout is an embarrassment.
This does kind of match up with the American electoral as far as population to people who
I was gonna
actually
say
vote.
we're probably higher. than
Yeah,
that.
I was-
We're probably
yeah,
outperforming.
So we
American
take that back.
people.
You guys are doing great.
Let's give it another 5 seconds, and then we'll call it because
Okay.
that's how they do elections.
Too close to call.
Sorry, that's it.
No, okay. Polls over.
I was gonna say I've which Steve has one of these now, but we first saw it from the guys that do some flying for us when we moose hunt up in Alaska. But they have one of those siphon hoses with in the middle of it. They have a shutoff valve.
Oh yeah.
So when when it gets full, they can just hit that shutoff valve.
That's smart.
Yeah,
Keep it real
which
clean.
is like a hot tip.
With 59% of the vote, the winner is Ethan with the laminate countertop.
Congrats, Ethan. I also think my favorite part about Ethan's video is just the inside of that shop.
Oh, yeah.
Or barn or whatever it is. It's like that guy is deadly serious about cutting up deer.
Yeah.
I mean, the folks in the upper Midwest take their shop serious, I think.
Yeah, it's good shop culture.
They like to hang out in the shops, which I enjoy.
Well, Ethan, should he email? Email radio@themeateater.com.
Our producer will
Yeah, we should probably email him.
Ethan, our producer, will reach out to you and get you that MeatEater branded case trapper knife. Congrats on your victory, and thanks for submitting your tip. And thanks to our good friends at Case Knives for sponsoring this week's Hot Tip Off. All right, Phil, let's get back in the chat and see what people are saying.
I've been kind of absent from the chat for a little bit.
Oh,
turning knobs back here.
Phil.
If Steve were here, he'd be acting the exact same way. He'd talk about how he's already posted the job listing, looking for a new podcast. But Randall, I think you're gonna like this one. This is a question from Mason. I need some gun selling advice. I am trying to sell my grand prize 25th anniversary Christensen's Arms Traverse 300 Win Mag. Serial number. He says it's been on Gunbroker for a while, and I'm not getting much traction. I live in Northeast Ohio, and thought about shipping it to a gun shop out west. Do you have anything to add here?
It's a good question. I'd get it on Gunbroker. I don't know what you'd get for that. If it's not getting much traction on Gunbroker, you might reach out to some gun shops out west that do a lot of. There's services and shops that'll list your stuff on Gunbroker and do like a very high-end bespoke auction page to maybe get some eyeballs. But I always sell stuff just by plugging it into different forums, and this may not be what you want to hear, but when I'm trying to sell a gun, I lowball myself, so I lower my standards so that I just sell it quickly. I don't have a lot of experience like selling high value items for what they're worth or more. Typically, I just am moving something to move on to the next thing. So, Seth, you have thoughts on that?
My gun selling advice is don't sell guns. Just keep them, hoard them.
Yeah,
put them in a safe.
Get ready for the
forever.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful rifle.
Oh yeah. Phil, what else we got here? Good luck to you, Mason.
I picked this question because it's incredibly vague, but I think it could open up a discussion of what this actually means. But Sisk Grant 26 asks, what is the most admirable non-game animal?
That's a great
I think
question.
you could, admirable could mean different things to different people. I think it's pretty subjective. So if you guys want to hash that out, I think that'd be fun.
Probably a grizzly bear for me.
Yeah, I guess in the lower 48.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're at.
I think that's cheating. I would say if we're going globally, I would have to say it's one of the great apes. Either a gorilla,
yeah,
chimpanzee, or an orangutan.
You have a lot of respect for those creatures.
I like the wolverine, but you can
Wolverine
get
is
them
cool.
in Alaska and
Sure.
Yeah.
Not down here though. Yeah.
Canada.
That's a wild animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering about things like possums.
You can get them
Yeah. I don't know.
all over the place.
But I wouldn't call it like a game
It's a
animal.
fur bear.
Yeah, that's fair.
Armadillo.
Yeah, you're talking to the trapper here.
Armadillo?
Yeah.
Nah.
Cheating with that shell.
No, I think the great apes. I'm gonna plant my flag. And these guys don't have good answers, so that's it.
Great, we locked it down.
Phil, did we get it? Did we squeeze enough juice out of that?
I thought you guys might squeeze a little bit more, but hey, We'll work with it.
I think there's a lot of good questions in there.
It's Cord asks, I think I know the answer, Seth's answer. What is the weirdest health condition / diagnosis y'all have contracted from the outdoor lifestyle? This includes friends or pets.
Just mostly diarrhea.
Okay.
Just a lot of diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. Giardia.
Yeah, I've kept it pretty safe and healthy out there. I don't know. Seth's mental breakdown here, not shooting a deer, kind of got me concerned. But
oh yeah,
that'll get fixed here.
It's something quick. I got to work through myself. Don't worry
I mean,
about
I've like, there's cuts. I don't have any trichinosis stories.
Yeah.
Weird insect bites and bee stings, including pets. We had one of our dogs this past winter. I wish I could remember the name of it, but essentially what she did was poke a hole in her abdomen with a stick, and then it filled up with air because her body was working like a bellows, and it sucked all this air up under the skin, and it was like she had bubble wrap under her.
Oh, wow.
Which I always think it's fun when there's something weird with your dog's body, and you like Google, what could this possibly be, and then you figure it out. But yeah, it was a bizarre one. I wish I could remember what that was.
Interesting.
And then we told a doctor friend of ours about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, bubble wrap," and we're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, that happens all the time when you give people chest tubes." I was like, "All right,
drain the air."
Yeah. So
wild.
Anyway, that's what I got.
So far, so good.
Great.
Hitting these out of the park, huh, Phil?
Yeah, you guys are doing great. On the note of diarrhea, Friday Arrows asked Randall, would you rather give up hot dogs or brewskis?
Oh, now that's a question.
Randall's getting real serious.
I think the honest answer, well, there's two answers. If I could give up beer, I would.
That's a big if.
I don't.
But you can.
But I don't. But I don't think I can.
Oh.
I've never been able to make that commitment to myself and my loved ones. So I think the honest answer is I would have to give up hot dogs. But if you were going to brainwash me somehow, like Office Space, hypnotize me, I'd probably say get rid of the drinking. Because the drinking actually leads to more hot dog eating.
Yeah, but he says brewskis. You could resort to
become a wino,
brown liquor or something. You know?
Oh, I can't drink the spirits.
Oh yeah, that's an early grade.
I get out of control. Of control.
Well,
yeah. It's a good question. I wish I had a better answer for you. If it was like someone said you have to give up one or the other, and it's all on you and your self-control. Otherwise, they'll find you and put a bullet in your head. I'd probably say hot dogs. It would be easier to do.
Wow.
But if I could hypnotize myself, I'd say beer because it's probably the healthier choice.
Great question.
Knocked another one out of the park. Keep them coming, Phil.
Here's one.
Like
here's a question that I can contribute a little something to. This is from Wally Bloomer. Not sure what size Brooksdown sweater to buy.
Oh, there you go.
I wear a large sweatshirt and a medium T-shirt. Which way would you go?
Large.
Yes, I would say large because I wear a large T-shirt. So I'm guessing I'm like a slightly bigger than you, and my large Brooksdown sweater is like just barely smaller than what I would want. So I think it would fit you pretty well. Then again, I think mine's like a different. I bought mine years ago, so it might be a different sort of cut or something that they do now. But I would say large for sure.
Should be about the same. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat there, wearing large items and medium items. I'd go big because the Brooksdown you can still wear it. But just a tad big. If it's too small, you're not gonna.
And you might want to layer under.
Yeah, you can layer under it.
And they're so light, you're not gonna feel the difference if you're worried about packability. The difference between a medium and a large is
minimal.
Yeah.
I like to wear that. I like to wear the Brooksdown with like a fleece hoodie underneath. So
Put it on over your bino harness if it's a little big too.
I like to wear it with that hoodie underneath the furnace.
Man, I've been
my
wearing
combo.
this. I've been wearing this one a lot.
Yeah, you have.
And I got another one for like a nice looking one. And now this one's just like mucking around hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you mucking around right now?
I will be later.
You ready?
Yeah, this is my mucking around hoodie.
Cool. Let's do one more here, and this is going to be a double plug question since we just did a very practical but first light question. Ro says, Phil, I have a question. Most weeks I stream the live show as a podcast the next day. Do y'all see that a lot? That is how we see it most of the time, Ro. sub 1,000 people will dip in and out live, but then it gets thousands of views as it goes on, and that's only on YouTube. The podcast gets tens of thousands of downloads after that. So like you're not alone. But I will say, because since we don't do this enough, in my opinion, we never plug our own YouTube channels. Or the podcast one, really. I think we said, hey, you should go subscribe to it when it first launched years ago. But please subscribe to the MeatEater Podcast Network YouTube channel if you have not done so. I think most of the people here live probably have, but if you're a podcast listener, dip on over there and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, the MeatEater Podcast, is it MeatEater Podcast Network?
Yes, I believe so.
MeatEater Podcast Network YouTube channel. It's a separate channel from the just standard MeatEater channel. And if you'd ever wondered what Cory looks like and you don't have social media, you'll want to check that out.
Yeah, get up on that.
Get a look at him.
Yeah, get a good look at this guy.
You won't regret it.
He said he's a large.
Sometimes a medium.
Sometimes a medium.
That should explain it all.
Phil, we got any more?
Well, how long do you want to keep? We've got some more questions.
I see we're going.
This is fun.
We're going a little long. I lost track of it.
There are just some. It's hard because a lot of people come in with good intentions and ask pretty good questions, but it's a question that we answered a week ago or a couple weeks ago, and I don't want it to be too repetitive. But we can just keep digging through some of these questions if you want. Some of them are kind of are vague, like for some reason, or for examples from Jordan. We're heading to Kentucky today to hunt for 3 days on public with no information. What is the best plan to start? They're hunting white-tailed deer. Because this is kind of open-ended, right? To do e-scouting.
I would say scout for a day and a half and hunt for a day and a half.
Ooh.
That's good advice. I'd say
you'd spend 3 days sitting in a spot where there's no deer.
Yeah.
But if you scout, you could really narrow it in and execute.
Make half your trip real productive.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because if you double your productivity of a day and a half by scouting for a day and a half, you essentially get those scouting hours back by the double productivity. So it's like you get to hunt for 3 days and scout for a day and a half because you're doubling the productivity of those day and a half.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Boy,
that's a great point.
That pencils out.
I can't top that tip.
Oh, here's a question for Seth. Photography question. Do you prefer faster, lightweight prime lenses or heavier, slower zooms when out in the field?
Well, I typically go with the zooms because I can cover a lot of things with just one lens, but I prefer a prime, specifically a 50. Wow. Primes are just cooler. They look better, but you can't always get the shot with a prime. Especially in hunting situations where things happen quickly and, it's nice to have the range.
Phil, is that it?
Well, we can keep going. It's your show, Randall. Tell me what you want
Let's
to
call that it.
Great.
I'm looking at the clock. I realize we're keeping people late here. We do have one last item, and that is a bit of housekeeping. Before we go today, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving Day, so none of us will be here in studio for our weekly Thursday broadcast. But the show must go on. So this time next week, we'll be airing a pre-recorded podcast episode with Steve and some of the crew. As always, please tune in, especially if you already need a break from the kitchen or your family. But please know that the chat will be unsupervised. And so if you have a pressing question that you'd like addressed on the show...
Well, actually, I need to interrupt you here. It is not a radio live episode. This is it's a MeatEater podcast episode, crew episode. I don't think we're going to be live streaming it. It's just going to drop. No. It's going to drop on Randall. You
got
this.
some bad information.
I don't.
Can we redo this?
Well, you should have told me that before we went. We're live now.
Should we just end it now?
Hey, Randall, if you have a problem with the way I run the show back here, can we just? I don't want you to talk about it behind the mic. It's embarrassing for me.
Okay. So if you have a pressing question for...
Pull it together.
If you have a pressing question for the crew,
Randall,
don't ask questions.
Save it until our next MeatEater live on December 4th.
This is a really bad look for you.
Thursday, December. I think it's a bad look for you. I mean,
no, I'm fine.
I was told to address this.
Wrong.
I was told to address this and prepare the audience for next week's schedule, but I was given incomplete information, and so now I look like a fool.
You're right.
I think you guys should hash this out a little later.
Hey, as always,
do you want to grab a beer after this?
Yeah.
Okay.
As always,
and a hot dog.
Yeah. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll review some of the feedback and decide whether there will be another segment of Meat Theater. I'm thinking it's likely doubtful.
No, it's happening.
But appreciate you.
I'll have
Hope
a
you're
real
having
drop
great
next time.
falls and enjoy the hunting this time of year.
Happy Thanksgiving. Early.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Ho, ho, ho.
All right, Phil, play the cut music.